There's the sailing ship. All right, this is a planking update. We've gone on about another couple of weeks here. I'm up to about 28 strips per side now, and it's become even more apparent that I'm running out of room here at the transom. I've only got about 5 inches left here of open space there. As you get up amidships here, we're looking closer to the 14 inches or so up there. So what I've started doing is I've started tapering these strips. You'll notice up here these two strips at the bow. I'm about a ½ inch wide here. These strips are normally 1 inch wide. So while I'm here, I've also got 2 strips along the keel. I kind of wanted to just make sure that I was going to be able to get those to go on there before I came up any further from the bottom up. I ran into a little issue here. This wasn't laying, it was laying way down. It was dipped down. It wasn't fair. I put 2 pieces of oak that I just had left over, white oak, in there on top of those, the frame and the floor, and picked that up, and it's considerably more fair now. Getting that first strip to lay along the keel was a real trick, and I do have that first strip tapered just because the keel is wider and narrower running fore and aft. So anyway, you can see here that I've got 2 tapered strips on here. Now what I'm doing is I'm going about 4 feet, and I've got a new strip laid out here, and you may be able to see that this strip's got a bit of a bend to it. It's curving off to the right. Maybe you can see that. Anyway, I measured up 4 feet, so I've come up to here where we're going to cut off part of this. It's even there. When I get to 2 feet, we're a ¼ inch in, and when we get all the way down to the end of it, it's half. It's 1 inch wide, it's down to a ½ inch. And I'll do that on both ends. I'm just using the jigsaw, and I'll cut that off and then take my Stanley Sureform plane. This works really well, and clean it up so we get right on the line, so that little, both at the front, up here at the bow and the stem, and also aft at the transom. It's going to be tapered, and I don't have it marked out on the end of this strip yet, but I'm going to do the same thing and use a 4 foot run to taper it from the full inch down to ½ inch. You can see here, this is about 4 foot here, maybe here. Then you can see how that tapers down till you get all the way back to the back there, and it comes down to a ½ inch. I wished that I would have done this sooner. And I wish that I'd been able to watch a video that would have given me this idea to do this sooner. So that's part of the reason why I keep making these videos, is for anybody else that may do this later. You can learn from the experience. It's going to be okay. I'm going to piece this together up in the middle just like I would a football on the bottom of a canoe. And that's going to require some careful cutting and gluing. I have been using some glue on some of these strips here recently, especially where they're so narrow. I've been so afraid to drill holes in them and then wind up splitting the strip. You can see here I cracked this one just a teeny bit. That is glued into the rabbet, and thickened epoxy and glass and epoxy is going to cover a multitude of sins. These are actually laying on here pretty fair. I know I'm going to have to sand, but this won't be anywhere near as bad as it was when I did my canoe. So anyway, that's the latest update. If anybody else tries to do this, I hope I can help.